Howdy, howdy. We're going to review how to solve two-step equations. I want you to be able to recognize that these are two-step equations right off the bat, and to be able to verbalize what those two steps are that are needed to solve them. So for example, when I look at this problem, I want you to not only see it and say, oh, there's two terms, so maybe I have a two-step problem here, but I also want you to be able to look at it and say, okay, so I'm going to have to remove this plus 3, and to do that I'm going to have to subtract 3. So step 1 would be subtract 3. And step 2 would then be to get rid of our coefficient, which is dividing by 3. Now I'm going to go ahead and take time and show you solving both of those steps.
Matthew Dare, please report to the parent pickup. Matthew Dare, please report to the parent pickup.
Zeroes out, and 3x equals 18. So I did step 1, subtracted 3. It's implied that you're doing it to both sides. Then I'm going to divide both sides by 3. That becomes 1 whole, and x is equal to 6. The other thing I taught in class today was that I want you to be able to check your work. You can do it on your calculator, and I have my old grandpa's calculator right here that I'm utilizing. So when you do it, the expectation is that you replace x with a parentheses, and you plug in the number you solved, x for, into the equation. So on my calculator, I'm literally going to type in 3 times 6 plus 3 equals, and it says 21. And so I'm going to very mathematically, smartly, awesomely put a check saying that I checked it. Okay? Let's try another problem. Looking here, I have the variable term and the constant term have been switched. That shouldn't stop us from being able to see and recognize our two steps. Remember that there's an imaginary plus sign out in front of that too, and that when we did these before, like on Thursday, and we combined like terms, that their signs went with them. That's very important to remember, because when we bring and get rid of this 2, I don't want you to drop that negative, because that negative goes with that 5x. Okay, so step 1, I have a plus 2, so I need to subtract 2. And step 2 for me is going to be divide by a negative 5. You'll notice that I'm just using the constant and the coefficient to help me determine my steps. So, subtract 2 from both sides. That zeroes out. I bring down my negative 5x. And then I do negative 23 minus 2, which is a negative 25. Divide both sides by negative 5. And x equals 5. Again, I'm going to check my work. So down here, I have 2 minus 5 times 5. And I'm saying that's equal to negative 23. I know 5 times 5 is 25, so I do 2 minus 25. I get negative 23, and I put a check mark. On 3 more of the problems, I want you to show me this step. On all the rest of them, you should check it, but you don't have to show me the step. I'll see you tomorrow for distribution.